Hello guys, we're back and I wanted to go ahead and show you the wheel once it's set up, and I'll give you as much of a tour of it as I can for as much as of I know of the wheel so far, but to be honest with you, I'm still figuring a lot of it out. But we will show you. Let's start with the race management display. You can tell it does look pretty when it's all lit up like it's supposed to be, right? So if we come in here and we look at the race management display, I'll show you what's going on with this. So basically there is a toggle that's right here on the lower right hand side of the wheel. Has a select and a back and then like a dial. So if we move this dial, you can see it moves through these different settings on the dash. And in these settings we have the platform. So if we go in here, this is just whether you select PC or Xbox for what you're using. I want an Xbox right now. Profiles I haven't used, but basically you can, whatever you profile you have this on, when you do settings, it puts them on that profile, so you can reset these or activate them. Kind of cool that there's 10 profiles for different games or cars or drivers or whatever. I really like that function. Then if you go here to the K drive, this has the strength of the motor. Right here, you can do custom, high, medium, low. I have it set at 90%. Center spring, you can adjust how strong the center spring is. Very cool. Again, we have it at medium. You can adjust damping. And I'm not sure exactly what this tuning does, but I think it may just be like preset options for the rest of them. We just have it on track right now. Race management display. This is where, if the game supports it, it'll bring up like your RPM and everything like that. So if we go in here, you can actually see you have live output, output style, and RPM indicator. You can choose how you want the RPM indicator to work. Not sure about these, but telemetry style. You can do road, sport, or race, and live output is what you connect for the game to send it data. Although I don't think Forza is supported currently, possibly because I haven't been able to get it to work. If we go into wheel, this is where you set your rotation degrees. If I turn it as far as it goes, let's see what we get up to. It goes like very, very, very high. Still going, still going, still going, still going. So anyways, you can see that it goes up there quite a ways. So if you're maybe drifting, or I don't know, driving a tractor or something, you're definitely going to be able to set it to those settings. Let me bring it back down to 900 here. Okay. And then dead zone, which I have set it as low as it goes, which is 1. But if you start having problems with the wheel, same thing with the pedals. We go in here, you can set pedal dead zone and pedal sensitivity for the clutch, brake, and throttle independently. When we go into these menus, there's high, medium, and low for all those menus. Go into the paddles. We can set the mapping. So if you want the clutch or the brake on the left or the right, you can swap those. And then you can set your dead zones on them. Headset mixer, really cool. So we have the volume, the chat mix, mic monitoring, mute, mic gain, and then you have your EQ over here where you can switch through these presets. So I thought that was kind of cool. Then lighting, you can change the colors. So we'll back up here so you can see this. So when we change the colors on the lighting, it actually makes everything look different. Really, really cool. That's a cool feature. I really do like that. We'll leave it on orange right now. Sounds good. How bright we want the lighting, so you can tone it down. And different effects. We can have like a breathing effect. I know it's kind of bright in here right now, so it might not be the best way to show that off. Or we can have it cycle colors. Let's actually do the cycle of colors. I think that's kind of cool. Then app link. This is where you connect it to your phone, and I'll throw a screenshot up of the app. And then I haven't used it I've downloaded it, but I think it's just basically the same stuff that's in here, but it's just on your phone, so it's easier to access. And then system, we can do updates. You can calibrate the wheel, screen brightness, timeout, wheel pairing, and that's what's in there. So that's the interface that's controllable from the wheel as far as I have used it. When we go back to this main screen, so when we're not in the interface anymore, you can actually test all your inputs. So like you'll see, sorry, this stand's kind of wobbly. I'm gonna have to definitely do some modifications to this so that it's more sturdy. But so if we hit the throttle, you can see where your throttle's at, how much you're having to press it to get it to go to 100%. If we do the brake, same thing. Man, we really got to slam on the brake right now to get it to 100. Ugh. And then we have the clutch, which doesn't seem to be disengaging all the way. Probably the setting in the game, I would imagine. So I'm going to have to adjust that in game. And what else? Oh, wheel rotation. So I know it's hard to see in there, but you can kind of see the middle going. And these paddles for the clutch and so the bottom paddles, right here, these paddles that are in here, they're actually progressive. So like you can actually see there's that one and there's that one. Kind of cool stuff. This button box, it will work to power on the wheel, but I have not been able to bind anything on this to anything in-game in Forza. Forza is the only game I've tried. I just got this set up. I'm definitely going to have to tweak this with all this and figure it out, but I did think I would show you that the switch has a light on it, the ignition switch, which I thought was really nice touch. So there's that. And then the rest of these, like I said, you can see it. It's just all like tweaked out. I don't know what it's doing. Leave event. No. So we'll move down here now. Let me get it put on my head. Some little things that I've learned, actually. So I have this hard mounted to the stand right now, but if you want to mount this on a table, what you do is you actually open these little side flaps here, and then if we look in here, there's included Allen wrench that you can see, and there's bolts that are down in here, and I don't know if they're coming up on the camera or not, but they're the bolts that are right in here. You untighten those, and what that does is that actually releases an arm on the bottom of this. It's internal in this, and then when you tighten it, it squeezes up. And I had this on a table, set up on a table before I put it on the stand, and it holds very secure. So secure that it was flipping the whole table when the direct drive would pop in. So no problems there. If we take a look in here, let's see if I can show you. You can actually see the direct drive motor through this window. And we'll kind of move this around and let you see it. I know it's not the greatest view. It's a really light light that's in there, but you can see the motor in there. And on your pedals, the clutch was like super soft. So I mean, I had to tighten it way down, and I think it's kind of still too soft, but it feels a lot better, but there's still more adjustment. The brake is super solid, and the gas pedal has kind of a long throw, but it feels good. So I know I kind of have a like ghetto setup here, working on a budget here, but I kind of like what I've got set up. I've got the stand pushed up against this the desk that the TV's sitting on, so it can't go forward at all, and the TV's and the chairs against the bed, so it can't go backwards at all. So good to go. So I guess what we'll do now is we'll just run a lap. You got to bear with me. I really suck at this right now, and I'm trying to get used to this wheel. And all the settings and stuff, and I still don't really have everything. I'm gonna just do manual right now. All right. So we will go for a drive real quick. Don't know if we can see that. We'll put this down like, hopefully it sees some of the wheel. We are in the Miata right now. I'm in like a very unfair race, by the way. So at least on Forza, like coming out of the corner, I can feel the understeer in the wheel. I can feel the shifts in the wheel. We're not trying to win a race here. I'm just trying to give you guys some feedback on this. Oh, we're in the wet. See what the rumble strips feel like. No rumble strip feel. That might be in the settings. There's definitely shift feel. And like I said, this is Forza. Forza's probably not the best game to be trying to get simulation responses out of the wheel. I do have all the assists turned off, so we don't have any of the controller assists on. Guy just wanted to be in the MR2, just said, oh, I'm just gonna be in your line. All right, well that works for me. Oh my gosh, these guys are going so slow. They must be Arizona drivers. They're afraid of the rain. Really good brake feel in the wheel. Nope. My inside line, get out of here. Oops, my bad. I do think the return to center I need to turn up. The hardest thing to get used to for me, and this might not be for everyone if maybe you guys are used to these size wheels, but it's definitely the size of the wheel. It is so small. I don't know if you can see down there. We're gonna have to look at this video and make sure you can see my hands, but it's like trying to get used to that diameter is just the weirdest thing when you come from the type of cars that, you know, I drive, which is just basic, like I had MR2, 300ZX, Miatas, etc. I guess I should pay attention to where I'm going. Quick release on this wheel. So there's the quick release. How this works is you pull this collar forward and the wheel just comes off. So there's a collar here, you can see it. It presses in and out. You just press it and it comes off. There's some markings on both sides. You just line those markings off and it goes right back on. So what are my final thoughts? You know, that's a tricky one to give from my perspective because I'm not like a pro sim racer or anything like that, right? I can tell you that the force feedback is not super strong. And I have everything turned up pretty much all the way, like my in-game settings are turned up all the way, and my settings on the wheel are at like 90%. So I do have another 10% that I could turn it up. Maybe that makes the difference. I don't know. The small feelings that I get from the wheel are good. Overall, I've been using this for about half a day, and I can tell you that you do get used to it, and you do get used to the feel of it, and you can feel... I actually found the road setting in Forza for like the bumps in the road and stuff, and it does give you some pretty good feedback. You can kind of feel when you're on the limit, and you can feel like the rumble strips and the imperfections in the roads and things like that. I haven't had any problems with the wheel itself flexing, so whatever is underneath the exterior of that wheel must it must be metal, because I mean it's like it's pretty solid and I've had no problems with it. There's no slop in the wheel. Like it fits securely to the hub. I've had no problems with that. I did feel that it was worth mentioning that the pedals actually the brake pedal adjusts left and right, and they also the pedal faces where your footrest can actually move around as well. You can undo the screws and they have like different slots they can go in, left, right, up, down, so that's kind of cool. There's a lot of adjustment there. I do wish that they would have put a little bit more metal into it, especially the base, because I have a feeling that where these pedals go into the plastic, that's eventually going to wear out. Luckily, the pedals look like they can be mounted on something else, so it won't be the end of the world if that does happen. For the price point of $650, I can't do a full judgment on the button box that comes with it because I haven't been able to get it to work on the Xbox. I've had some people in the comments of a previous video saying that it only works on PC and that they haven't been able to get it to work on the Xbox. Some people have been saying that also the tuner thing on the dashboard, the live telemetry, that they've only been able to get that to work on PC. So it's kind of up in the air, right? I think you're still going to be hard pressed to find a full setup with the specs that this has, with like the load cell brake pedal, the wheel, the button box, for the price, you know. And it's definitely feels better than it looks, and it actually looks really good at nighttime when the lights and stuff are on. And then, you know, if I could just get over the size of it, basically like the small wheel, I'm sure I'll be a lot happier. If money were no option and we were comparing this like in the grand scheme of things, right? Like we're just like, okay, like how does this compare to every wheel in existence? Like I would say it's like, you know, down there in like the probably like in the middle somewhere. I'd rate it like a 5 out of 10. But if we're rating it compared to the wheels that are in the same category that this wheel is in, you know, like the Logitech wheels and the Thrustmaster wheels, I think it's right up there with those. And it actually has more functions than that. I can tell you that the brake pedal feels really good. Like really, really good. The clutch, now that I've tightened it up, also feels very good as well. It actually gets not super stiff, but like it gets like it's not, you're never gonna get the feel of like a cable clutch out of like an older '90s car or something out of it. But like as far as the hydraulic clutches of the new cars, you can kind of get that feel out of it. The gas pedal throw is like a little long for me, and yeah, mostly the brake just feels great, and that's the most important part of the feel while you're racing the car, right? And the wheel doesn't feel bad. It's fine. You know, I'm like I said, I'm not like a pro sim racer, so I don't know what to expect. The last wheel I had was my gosh, probably like 10, 12 years ago, and it was just like a cheap Xbox wheel, you know, like the Microsoft branded ones. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I'll try to get a set of Corsa downloaded so I can maybe get like some better, you know, information being sent to the wheel through like a better program, and give it a shakedown that way too. If there's, like I said, if there's anything else you guys want to know, or if you want me to take more video of for you, or anything like that, anything you want me to try out, just let me know, and I'll try to get a video up for you guys so that you can make your purchase with some good backing, you know, make sure it's something you want before you drop $650 on it. I myself am happy with it. I won't be returning it or anything like that. It works great for what I do, and overall I am pleased with it. Even though it felt a little cheap at first, but you know, it really isn't once you get it on the stand and you start using it, and like you feel it is sturdy. Everything's really sturdy. Like I haven't had any problem with anything falling apart. Outside of, like I said, the brake pedals kind of being a little wonky, as far as like there's a little bit of movement left and right. You don't notice it while you're driving, right? Like so while you're playing the game, it's negligible. But my worry is that over time that's going to get worse, right? And it's going to crack the plastic or something. Until next time, guys, have a good evening, morning, day, whatever time you may be watching this. Adios.